name is Aisha Khan, and I am the GT specialist here at Lee Elementary. The purpose of this presentation is to give you an overview of gifted services that are offered at the elementary level in Capella ISD. The goals of this presentation is to understand that all of our policies and procedures on assessment and services are driven by the Texas State Plan. In Capella ISD, we utilize a common language across campuses, and there are various procedures for screening that differ across various grade levels. At Lee Elementary, a cluster educator is anyone who has a gifted learner or learners in their classroom, and there are a few expectations for that designer. The State Plan of Texas provides requirements and guidance to districts as they meet the unique needs of the gifted and talented population in Texas. There are 6 sections of the state plan. Each section has an accountability criteria and standards for exemplary performance. As per the state plan, educators are required to have 30 hours of GT training, and every year, in order to maintain that 30 hours, a minimum of 6 hours, we usually call them update hours, are required. There are 5 modules that are to be completed in order to obtain your 30 hours of GT training, and 2 of those modules are available on Schoology, and the rest of the modules are available through this Region 10 website. If you are looking to obtain update hours, you can take any of those modules and get your update hours this way. There's just some basic common language. We have gifted and talented services, not a program. Services happen or occur or are offered when a learner demonstrates a need for services. So they do not necessarily have to be identified as gifted learners, but if you have a learner in a classroom that is definitely showing a need, then they should be served. Learners must meet multiple data points to qualify for services. Instead of testing, we refrain from that word and choose screening across the district. Instead of naming the specific test, we refrain from explaining the name of the test. Specifically, if parents ask, and say that we are conducting an abilities test, a cognitive abilities test. And instead of nominating a learner, we request screening or refer learners for screening. As you can see, GT assessment by grade level, we have 3 grade levels that will be undergoing a universal screener this year: kinder, third, and fifth. In the previous years, we also screened first grade, but as of 2019-2020 for this school year, we are limiting our universal screening years to kinder, third, and fifth. You'll notice that there's a column for something called tabs. Tabs is replacing the needs assessment, which was a short 5-question questionnaire that went out to teachers to fill out on their learners. So TABS stands for traits, aptitudes, and behaviors, and it will be replacing the needs assessment and the SIGs. And so kinder, third, and fifth will fill one out for each learner that they have in their classroom, and fourth grade will do the same. MAP testing will be done universally for all grade levels, so we will use that data both for language arts and for math for our screeners this year. And abilities testing will be for every kinder learner this year, which is different than in the past, for every third grader and every fifth grader, and for our off grade level years, they will only be offered as needed. For our portfolios, kindergarten will take part in 3 KOIs, The difference will be this year we will be scoring them together as a team, um, instead of taking it to my specialists. And Portfolio requirements in other grade levels will be as needed. First and second grade will take part in think tank lessons. Two will happen in the fall and two will happen in the spring to allow for gifted characteristics to bubble up. And we will take it from there and see if any further testing or screening is needed on various learners. So again, kinder, third, and fifth are going to be our universal screener years, and those that means all learners in those grade levels will be screened. First, second, and fourth will be as needed. Um, so CISD universally will screen in the grade levels I just mentioned. Parents can request screening once a year, in the fall and in the spring. So in the fall, that date is on the CISD website, and they are allowed to nominate typically before school begins. In the spring, it is only for learners who are new to CISD. Educators can refer a learner at any time during the school year. Learners must meet multiple data points that demonstrate that a learner is performing remarkably above his or her peers. So it's not just one data point that we're looking at, there are different points that a learner must meet before they are offered services. This is a bell curve from COGAT. Notice that the 50th percentile mark is definitely there, and the majority of your population of learners will fall in the fourth, fifth, and sixth stay area. But then notice that you have to your extreme left population of learners, and to your extreme right a small population of learners. And these learners definitely need support from um, gifted and talented specialists and yourself. Um, Next, we just want you to notice that gifted intervention services can vary based on a learner's need. Regular classroom instruction could be enough for a gifted learner. A child may need a certain amount of differentiation being a gifted learner, or a gifted learner may need a certain amount of push in or pull out. All these are kind of on a continuum of services that all fall under GT services. So, services could be a mixture of push in and pull out. The data shows that not all gifted learners are the same. So, the services will also vary from learner to learner. Gifted learners are ensured opportunities to work together as a group, work with each other, and work independently. Duty specialists are also working more with educators. Not every gifted learner needs the same thing, and learners are gifted all the time. So we're trying to meet their needs where they are. They're not just gifted for the 45 minutes that you pull or that I would be pulling them out for. Learners do not have to be identified to receive support from the gifted specialist. So, you don't have to have a learner that is identified. Any learner who is showing a need um, should definitely require or get some differentiation for them depending on where they are. Pre assessment is very important for all learners so that all learners have the opportunity to participate in a replacement project or activity if they've already mastered the classroom requirements. So, gifted and talented learners have an advocate. They receive services that are documented, and they are eligible to take gifted courses in middle school. For a cluster educator, some of the expectations is that you and I would meet, that the gifted learner is getting some differentiated instruction based on pre-assessments. So if they're not pre-assessing out of whatever unit you're working on, they can work on the learning that is happening in the classroom at that time. However, if they are pre-assessing out of it, then we should be providing that learner something that is challenging and that meets their needs. And cluster educator is also expected to document the differentiation that is occurring in their classroom. Um, Learner profiles are for teachers and parent conferences and for gifted auditing purposes. They're ongoing and they're throughout the years. So if you do have a gifted learner in your class, please make sure or um, please be aware that you will be receiving a learner profile that will be online and that you can go ahead and fill out anytime you are offering your gifted learner any opportunities for differentiation or extension or enrichment in your classroom. We will be meeting, and when we do meet, it will be an expectation to bring that online documentation as well. If you would please click on this link, and it will take you to a Google form that will ask you a very basic question of how I can help meet the needs of your gifted or question for learners. How do you know, or what will you do when your learner knows it? So please just fill that out and be as specific and honest as possible, and I will do my very best to help you and meet the needs of our gifted learners at Lee Elementary. Thanks very much. Please do not hesitate to email me or reach out to me at any point during this school year. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thanks.